Hi everybody, it's time for Munch Munch Math. And today you're going to take your bowl of little munchies and you're going to dump them out. And you're going to go ahead and you are going to count them in, let's do groups of 2 today. So you're going to count them in groups of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. And of course you're going to have different numbers than I am because I don't know how much food you have in your bowl. So you're going to count them in groups of 2. You can put them in groups of 2 and count them afterwards if you want to. And when I'm doing my counting, I kind of like to make it a little organized. If I just put them all in a pile in the middle, I might lose track. So I like to make a circle or a square so that when I'm counting, I don't lose track. And I have my little things here today for us to play with because I have an idea. I want to do some comparison problems today. And I'm making sure there's a little space in between them so that I can tell. Ooh, I can tell something already about my number. So my number, I want you to tell me, is it odd or even? I want you to think about, is your number odd or even? And I want you to think about, is my number odd or even? My number is definitely odd because I have this one in the middle. All right, so this little thing, this little guy is going to, she's going to go ahead and count by 2. So here she goes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, and one more makes 37. All right, so that's my number. I'm going to take my number and write it on my whiteboard right here, 37. So I know that I have a 3 in the tens place and a 7 in the ones place. Okay, so my number is going to look like this. I'm not sure what your number is going to look like because you have a different amount of food than I do. So go ahead and pause the video and count by 2s and figure out what your number is. And once you've done that, I would like you to go ahead and if you have an odd number, put it in here. And now what I would like you to do is I would like you to see if you can divide all of your pieces of food into just 2 piles. Just 2 piles. And with the same number in each pile. And then figure out how many is in each pile. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to do mine like this. I'm going to think, okay, I'm going to put 3 over here, and 3 over here, and then I'm going to go like this, and like this, and like this. You might do it in a different way, and that's just fine. Like this, and like this. And go ahead and count to make sure that you have the same number in each pile. So go ahead and pause your video and then count and see how many you have in each pile. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to write my number on my whiteboard. So pause your video. Okay, welcome back. So mine goes like this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So my number in my pile is 18. But your number might be something quite different than that. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is I would like you to get 2 little objects where you could that look a little different. So like this is this objects pile and this is this objects pile. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to eat until you only have 12 in one object's pile. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And 14 in another pile. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 in one pile, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in another pile. And what I'd like you to figure out is how many more are in the bigger pile than in the smaller pile. So how could you do that? Well, you can line them up like this, or maybe you just know it as a fact. And when I line them up, I'm going to line them next to each other, and I'm going to line them like in order, so you see how there's kind of a line here and a line here, so I can really tell. Because if I kind of went like this and like this, it might be harder for me to tell how many more I have. It might be harder for me to compare them. So I'm going to make sure that like these guys, these ones line up with these ones, and 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 then these ones, they don't have a match, do they? So, how many more are in the green line than in the little elf line? I wonder if you guys can see that. Okay, let me move my board a tiny bit like this. How many more are in this line than this line? If you guessed the answer 2, you are correct. Okay. Go ahead and take those 2 and either eat them or put them in your little bowl. And now I would like you to count how many, oh, we didn't turn these into anything. How many little frisbees, let's turn them into frisbees. How many little frisbees are left all together? So pause the video while you figure that out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay, 24 left. Well, once upon a time there were 24 frisbees, and the 2 characters were playing frisbee, and they were throwing frisbees back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And 6 of the frisbees got lost in the woods. They had a lot of frisbees. How many frisbees are left all together? Can we count by 2s? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 frisbees. Can you write the number 18? Let's see. We just wrote the number 18, at least. 18. Okay. There were 18 frisbees, and our friends got tired of playing frisbee, and so they decided, I want to divide these frisbees into piles. I want to divide these frisbees into piles with 3 frisbees in each pile. I wonder how many piles we are going to have. Pause your video and divide your frisbees into piles with 3 in each pile. Pause. How many piles do we have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many frisbees are in each pile? 1, 2, 3. Well, I went and I gave 2 piles of frisbees to my friend over here. 2 piles of frisbees. How many frisbees did I give to my friend? Can you count? And can you write that as a number sentence? If you wrote 3 plus 3 equals 6. That's one way to do it. Or you could say, how many did we have? We had 18. How did we do that? 18 take away. Well, that would be a different math question. We'd have 18 take away. We didn't really take these away, so we took 18. Trying to figure out how to best write that. I guess we could say 12. Oops. 18 plus, take away 12 equals 6. Although we didn't really take these away. We kind of pushed the other ones to the side. So 18 take away 6 would equal 12 left. Okay. Well, this little friend took all those 6 and put them in, ate them. Ate the Frisbees. Don't eat Frisbees at home, kids. So then, they had how many left? Let's count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12. Is 12 odd or even? How could you figure that out? "12 is even." Okay, and then you get to make up your own story now about 12 Frisbees. Have fun. Thanks, kids.